I wanted to have my own web series, so here it is.
I feel so left out. I am all alone, all because I own a dumb phone. Everyone has a smartphone but me. It's like I am living in 2003. I can text and take pictures just fine, but that's the limit on this old flip phone of mine. I know I'm in the minority of still having an antiquated phone, but I really don't need a smart one. If I had email on my phone, I would be even more impatient while waiting for email responses. Plus, I would turn into one of those people who never puts his phone away. Whenever I'm with someone like that who can't stop fiddling with their phone when I'm trying to have a conversation with them, I think, how rude. I have a bad habit of waiting until the phone is completely destroyed before replacing it. This flip phone, the screen abruptly broke, so I started blindly forwarding my new text to my sister, which turned out to be from my girlfriend at the time. Let's just say it was almost as embarrassing as when Ray and Charlie read Hannah's diary. This flip phone broke more and more every time that I dropped it. Once it fell in the bathtub, but it dried out and was working fine after a day. However, little by little, each piece started to break, this piece, and well, as you can see, the last drop was the last straw. My phone was more damaged than the Enterprise at the end of Star Trek II. Regardless, I still don't think I need a smartphone. Since most people have one, I can just borrow it if I am as desperate for an email fix as Jesse was for meth in the early seasons. Everyone has a smartphone but me. They can play games or even watch TV. I can't tweet or send emails at all, and I have to go home to post on your Facebook wall. In theory, with Siri, I get endless suggestions to all of life's questions. I know where I was, I know where to go. I have an app with a map and an answer to cure cancer, for all I know. I hate texting. I get it. It's convenient, especially if someone cannot talk on the phone at the moment, and it's faster than Oliver Queen's arrows for immediate responses, but it is so annoying to type on a phone. It requires immense dexterity and concentration, and furthermore, with the autocorrect feature, you can end up saying something vastly different than you meant. Some typos are more nonsensical than Virginia Chance's malapropisms. Regardless, texts are impersonal. Whenever someone responds to my long voicemail with a short text, a little piece of my heart dies. Like when Joss Whedon kills off another of my favorite characters. Another annoying thing about texts is they're not free. So unless you pay $20 a month for unlimited texting, you are always checking to make sure you haven't gone over your limit. But people with unlimited texts don't realize this, so rather than thinking before they text and consolidating their thoughts to 160 characters, which is thankfully more than Twitter, they send piecemeal little texts like, okay, that's fine, we'll see you later, thereby wasting 3 texts when they could have just said, okay, that's fine, we'll see you later. It is more wasteful than when Raina and Juliet fly back to Nashville after every gig. So next time you're gonna text, think about whether the person you are texting might have unlimited texting or not, and try to get your thoughts down into just one text. Or you could just be old-fashioned like E.T. and phone home. Everyone has a smartphone but me. My sister got one and all I got was jealousy. All my friends laugh at me for that. Next I bet my parents will get them then my cat. But I'd be stalkable if I checked into every spot. I'd rather conceal it, and my phone is switched to Verizon a few years ago, partly because of service issues, but mostly because my sister's husband has Verizon. In fact, a lot of people in our family and his family, plus a lot of my close friends have Verizon, making for an extended network of people that I can call and text for FR double no the long way, FREE3. Speaking of my sister's in-laws, in the old days I feel like I would rarely see them, but ever since the wedding, they're now my Facebook friends, and we are liking each other's statuses and photos all the time. Also, I waved hi to them in Skype on Thanksgiving, and who knows, they could be watching now. Thus, we have become almost as big an extended family as on Big Love. Speaking of extended families, I have a lot of cousins also on Verizon, but the way we define cousins is confusing. Our first cousins once removed can mean our first cousin's children or our parents' first cousins. My first cousin once removed just had a bar mitzvah is my first cousin's son. Number 2, my first cousin once removed just got a divorce is my parents' first cousin. Number 3, my first cousin once removed is obsessed with High School Musical. Could really go either way there. Anyway, making things even more complicated is the fact that my grandfather's mother remarried his father's brother, making his first cousins also his step-siblings. Ergo, my mother and her sister's second cousins are also their step-first cousins, and my third cousins, who I don't even know exist, would be my step-second cousins. It's more confusing than trying to figure out how many generations are between Fry and the professor.
Everyone has a smartphone but me. But I save money since data plans aren't free. And my phone works for actual conversation without the frustration of signal degradation. And my battery lasts for days, so in quite a few ways, it's better not to own a smart state-of-the-art phone. But I still want one.
Today's moral is do not assume everyone has the latest technology. Even those of us who are tech-minded can be obsolete and old-fashioned. But talking on the phone is going the way of meeting people in person to date, which is the subject of next time, online dating. See you then on Everyday a Little Seth.
I wanted to have my own way.